So good. Do you want me to get you one? No? I can though. It's right here. Do you want to see my fish balls? No, I mean like my little fish balls. Bestie, this little fishball is her nickname. This is Joanne. I'm introducing you to someone. Please behave. Little fishball is her nickname. It's cute. You know, I wanna call you something cute like that too. Like my tiny garlic shavings. You know, when you're peeling garlic and you throw away those shavings, that's you. Fishball, like the thawed version of the frozen food, is soft. She's got that soft girl aesthetic. She's always camera ready. She's regularly flying first class and often carrying a Chanel bag like it was a vital organ. She looks like the kind of girl who would like giggle into her hand, you know? Cover her mouth. It's cute. It's adorable. She also robbed half of China's influencer population.
This person even replaced the genuine bags of 6 people around them with fakes, amounting to nearly 4 million.
He stole and resold nearly 500 bags. Every one of them was swapped out for premium fakes.
I wasn't the only victim. There are 6 of us in total.
I also want to remind everyone not to carelessly bring strangers into your home and don't trust your friends too much.
This wasn't borrow my lipstick or took my hoodie, gave her $5, she didn't give it back. No, she ran a whole criminal operation. And her friends were the supply chain. Congratulations, bestie. You are the warehouse. Your closet is my shop. This was, I'll take your Chanel bag, your real expensive Chanel bag, replace it with a fake one, sell the real one, and then proceed to sleep next to you in your own bed like nothing happened. She didn't stop at stealing bags. She stole her friend's whole family. Mom, dad, backstory, tax bracket. She literally invented a fake rich family based on her friend's real family and then proceeded to tell everybody that that friend was her mentally ill stepsister that her dad, fake dad, picked up off the streets and pays her to go visit. Sounds like a drama reels plot, but it's not. This is real life. This isn't Ocean's 8. This is Ocean's Bait. Starring one girl, not 8, Fishball. The only fish in this ocean who managed to lure and fool an entire influencer circle. This isn't Pretty Little Liars. This is Pretty Little Fishball Felonies. A story that starts like a cute friendship vlog and ends like a psychological thriller. A girl who wanted to belong so bad that now she belongs in jail with a potential life sentence. Shanghai and its neighboring cities, Hangzhou, and you guessed it, Nanjing. Nanjing, what is going on? Yumi, Sister Hong, and now this. What's going on? Listen, Fishball was girl next door, normal. She had regular family, regular life, nothing dramatic. Middle class, but that wasn't enough for her. One thing about fish, they're ambitious. That's how we got amphibians 370 million years ago. So she started rewriting her life. Not her actual life, her storyline. And honestly, the internet is the easiest place for somebody to do this. It's like moving countries without even leaving your room. You can just start over. You can be whoever you want. Just show enough to look real and hide everything that isn't. And boom, curated persona unlocked.
You said your dad was a wealthy businessman in Australia and your mom worked in skincare.
And she is also a business owner. She claims to run a secondhand luxury goods store. And everyone just loved her. One foolproof way to get big on Douyin and Red Note is to be a rich, beautiful, entrepreneurial girl boss. But not all of it was a lie. Now, she actually did own a secondhand luxury store, an actual business. And that curated image she put together, the rich parents, the aesthetic lifestyle, the I'm a girl boss entrepreneur vibe, that is what let her slide into a circle of wealthy influencers. Everything was going great for her until she vanished. Her followers realized she hadn't posted in a month since the 5th of September. Is she okay? Where did she go? She wasn't even in her friend's videos until she was in a friend's video, but not in the way you'd think. It was not a vlog, it was not a collab, it was a video about her. The first domino that will expose robberies, involve police, and convict a friend of 3 years. Before the robberies, before the police, there were like 4 girls in this group, okay? It was Fishball, Pee-Pee, and Su or Sleepy Jiao. And then there was the final boss, the one who I think had it worst, Salami Panini. Yeah, I know. Fishball and Salami Panini sounds less like names and more like the lunch menu at an Italian seafood restaurant. But generally speaking, they've all been friends with Fishball for roughly 3 years. And it all begins at a girl's trip to Korea. filming vlogs, eating cute desserts, shopping, living their best soft girl lives. And there's something you gotta know about this group. They're all showy influencers. You know, they like to flex. They all carry expensive bags, but there is this one bag that becomes the whistleblower, that becomes the spark that blows this whole thing open. Pee-Pee's Chanel bag with a double chain. Unfortunately, Fishball developed a crush on this bag. Fishball was obsessed with the Pee-Pee's Chanel.
Wow, it's so beautiful. Where did you get it? Can I see it? Wait, show it again. Oh my god, it looks amazing on you.
Obsessed. Pee-Pee thought nothing of it. You know, girls hype each other all the time. It's normal. Pee-Pee also loved her double chain Chanel bag. But Fishball wasn't hyping.
It's so beautiful.
She was
Where
studying
did you get it?
the model.
Can I see it?
Plotting,
Wait, show it
analyzing
again.
the bag that Pee-Pee often wore in the single chain style across one shoulder. Remember that detail? That detail is the entire reason this whole crime gets exposed later. There are two versions of this Chanel bag. The double chain version that can convert into a single chain, and the single chain version that cannot become a double chain. Pee-Pee had the double chain version, but would wear it in the single chain style in their Korea trip. Fishball saw that and thought Pee-Pee had the single chain version. You know what that means, yep. Oops. They're back from their trip. Pee-Pee gets home August 16. She picks up her Chanel and immediately goes,
This is not my bag.
Nope, no. This bag had a single chain, not a double chain.
Which explains why, on the morning of August 19th, I finally realized that my bag had been switched.
Her $6,400 bag swapped. If you're not someone that gets bags much like me, that's like if you bought a diamond ring and one day you look down at your finger and notice it's not a diamond anymore, it's glass. It's like going on a road trip in the convertible you just bought with your friends and coming back home, parking it, only to discover the next day that you still have a convertible, but it's not the bougie one you bought. What is this? This wasn't her bag, so she needed to investigate. So, she checks who visited her home in the last 10 days. Only a few friends. Okay. Only one with a big suitcase. Curious. Only one acting weird. And only one who stared at her bag like it was the Mona Lisa and she was about to commit a Louvre heist. And with 95% certainty, Pee-Pee concludes it's Fishball.
Only a few people had been around, and he was the only one carrying a big bag and moving about. So in my mind, I was already 95% sure it was him.
The only reason this entire empire collapsed was because Fishball grabbed the wrong Chanel.
Had he not swapped it for the wrong style, none of what happened next would have occurred. No one would have known what he did since I caught it in time.
So Pee-Pee does what any sane person would do after discovering her Chanel was Freaky Friday'd. Okay, she confronts her.
Look me in the eyes and tell me, did you take it? If it was you, I continued, I won't tell anyone. We'll handle this privately as friends.
This is the moment in the plot where the villain typically breaks, where the truth comes out and the dramatic music swells. The finale, nope, not here. Fishball drowns, ironically, in tears. Shocked at the accusation. Her own friend of 3 years calling her a thief. Shame. In Chinese culture especially, this accusation is a disgrace. She shows her bank balance.
Look, I literally have money. I'm thriving. Why would I steal?
And Pee-Pee believes her.
And I believed him. I clung to him, crying and comforting him while he apologized nonstop for 3 hours.
But Pee-Pee did not walk into this gaslit event alone. She came with her partner, her boyfriend, Sijing. He didn't buy it. He wanted to see her transaction history. Show me your Alipay. Lo and behold, two suspicious transfers, 2,400 yuan and 19,800 yuan that she couldn't explain.
And he couldn't explain the source of those funds.
Pee-Pee heads home, her mind racing.
I really couldn't take it anymore. I didn't know who to trust or what to believe. I didn't know who had swapped things.
Meanwhile, their mutual friend Suo, or Sleepy Joe, is receiving calls from the both of them.
Fishball? Hello?
Fishball crying over the phone after being wrongfully accused by her friend Pee-Pee. Suo supports her, calms her down, but her phone doesn't stop ringing. It's
Pee-Pee. Hello?
I told her the whole sequence of events.
And after learning that Fishball stuttered to justify her Alipay transactions, knowing she has a secondhand luxury goods store as well, that same night, Suo, or Sleepy Jow, checked her own bags, only to find out Pee-Pee was not the only victim. Suo was also robbed.
He stole and resold nearly 500 bags. Every one of them was swapped out for premium fakes. The logos were utterly unrecognizable. Good deeds always get rewarded, and wrongdoers inevitably reap what they sow. I never would have imagined someone so close and dear to me as a friend. Someone would exploit my trust and feelings to carry out this deception.
Everything was fake. Even the bag she just brought from the UK like 2 days ago. Swapped. PP lost like 40,000 yuan, like $6,400. Suo lost her entire luxury collection. All of it. And if that wasn't enough, Suo learns that Fishball was trying to pit her friends against her, talking smack behind her back.
That night, I finally realized he'd planted doubts about me in my friends' minds. He'd exaggerated and twisted some of my personal matters when talking to friends, causing all of them to side against me. If this hadn't been exposed, I probably would have become the person everyone disliked because of him.
On the 20th of August, about 4 days after that discovery, PP and Suo do what honestly any reasonable person would do. After finding out your best friend was running a mini black market out of your closet, they decide to go to the police, considering that they'd already given her a chance to come clean. Enter Officer Uncle Hat.
You got hard proof? No? Do you have CCTV footage? No? Do you have screenshots of her admitting to anything? No? How do I know you're not framing your friend? Oh.
Officer Uncle Hat is neutral. Officer Uncle Hat is logical. Officer Uncle Hat does not care about influencer drama. Officer Uncle Hat cannot file this case. It's their word versus hers. Suo's mind starts ticking.
I didn't sleep at all that night, thinking there wasn't enough evidence.
They didn't confront her, they needed to gather evidence. Looking at CCTV footage, at her behavior, comparing items. Like the shoes that Suo bought from that Fishball's secondhand luxury goods store.
Later, I spoke with the sales assistant in the boutique and confirmed that the shoes he sold me were blatantly counterfeit, yet he audaciously, absurdly charged me a total of 1,900 yuan.
Turns out they were also fake, worth only 20% the price she paid. Sales associate confirms you've been scammed.
Uncle Hat!
Yes, this works as evidence. The case was accepted. This was now a criminal case. 2 months earlier, another mutual friend of theirs, Liu Rebal, had mentioned to Suo that her cameras had gone missing when she moved houses.
Back in June, my friend A told me that after moving, many of his cameras had gone missing.
It seems as though anybody that Fishball knew was part of her supply chain, and she had a big circle. Salami Panini was her best friend, her ride or die. But it's important to note, Panini has an Australian father and a mother that works in the cosmetic industry. Sounds familiar? Deja vu? Yeah, Panini is a Nepo baby. She is rich. The girl is rich. Sue calls her, thinking, well, if there's a Fishball in your circle, then you've got to be missing something. Something's fishy.
I realized this was a clue and tried calling him, only to find he didn't trust me. He refused to believe it, and at that moment, he and the girl were in the same room.
Yikes. Oh, God. Yeah. Unsurprisingly, Salami Panini was sat right next to her best friend, Fishball, when Suo spills her entire tea.
Learning this made me feel extremely sad and desperate, but there was no time to react. I had to immediately pick up the phone, call the girl, and confront her. I'm saying this now, though I intended to speak with you face to face. There is no need to wait any longer. We should handle it immediately. Frankly, I do not want to see you. You must offer an apology to us immediately. There's no way there was a second person. Only these few people have ever been to my house. Do you think you're that clever?
Her response was aggressive. She insisted she was being framed. The call goes sour, fast. Suo, as she always does, gets another phone call. Busy phone.
It's Officer Uncle Hat.
She hangs up on Fishball to pick up on the officer that was investigating her.
Hold on, I'll call you back. The police are calling me about you. Wait. Police!
She calls Panini and Fishball a second time. This time, Panini confronts her too.
The police is involved now?
Fishball panics, and right there in front of Panini, she confessed to her crimes and apologized to Suo. She drafts up this massive paragraph and addresses it to Suan Pipi on WeChat. She claims her ex-boyfriend was blackmailing her for a sizable sum, and she was under threat, forced to do this. Should they believe her? Should they not? Can't she be trusted? I mean, it wasn't a random stranger. This was their friend of 3 years. A harsh betrayal. Out of her love and care for her friend, Panini actually suggests paying off all those damages to Suo and Pipi, asking them to please drop those police charges. She begs them to abandon the investigation, but it was too late. The investigation was underway. Up to this point, Suo and Pipi had realized that Fishball had robbed them. Panini was still defending her. Later that night, they called a fourth mutual friend, N, from the Korea trip. She checked her bags, and lo and behold, all her bags and bracelets had been swapped.
Calculating everything, my personal losses alone amount to around 15,000 yuan. From the moment I realized my bag had been stolen by my friend, I honestly couldn't believe it.
How could you not notice your prized belongings had been stolen? Well, before we continue, we have to sort of try and understand that accusing someone of theft, especially someone you've eaten with, you've traveled with, cried with, slept beside, accusing that person of theft is deeply uncomfortable. All right? It's not something people do. That's why the girls hesitated. That's why the bags went unnoticed at first. Because when someone is your friend, your brain refuses to go,
Oh yeah, she probably robbed me.
especially when that friend in question is someone who constantly talks about their mental health struggles. Fishball had used I'm not well as a get out of jail card so many times that everyone had been conditioned to soften around her. Nobody felt this more than Salami Panini. After all this chaos and the call and Fishball and Panini, Fishball was nowhere, and Panini was trying to reach her best friend, Fishball, for 2 weeks. No replies, no posts, nothing. And after that ex-boyfriend using her allegation, Panini was terrified.
I was really worried since he told me he had. Also, I'd seen some of his earlier behavior, so I was terrified he might have been feeling very down lately and could harm himself.
She wasn't thinking, my friend is a thief. She was thinking, is she alive? And in her panic and desperation, she messaged every mutual friend they had in common on Weibo. And that's important, because that brings us full circle. Remember, when Suo and Pipi, the mutual friends, had told her what Fishball had done, Panini did not believe them. She defended her. That's how deep that manipulation ran. And when she wanted to check where she was and messaged all of their mutuals on Weibo, she reached out to Pipi and Sue again, only to find out that while she was losing sleep worrying about Fishball's mental state, Fishball had long been telling people Panini was her mentally ill half-sister that her dad had picked up off the streets and paid her to visit and tolerate. Yeah, that's how twisted this gets. Now, Salami's on the phone with Pipi, who tells her the truth. Fishball is not here. You can't reach Fishball, because she was already taken in by the police. Pipi finally tells her, go home, have your family check your stuff, see if anything's missing. But Panini was in Nanjing, not Shanghai at the time, so she asks her family to check for her and...
So I asked my family to check first, and they discovered all the bags in the house were gone.
That's when they realize it's not if anything is missing, it's that everything is gone.
After learning this, I immediately bought plane tickets to return home in the next couple of days. When I saw the situation at my place, I was completely stunned. I nearly fainted on the spot. Over 40 bags and more than 30 pieces of jewelry had all been emptied. Everything was gone. And you didn't even spare my mom's opened makeup. Silk scarves, blankets, glasses. None of it was left.
And what others described in their own accounts, an Hermes wall, emptied. Value, easily over 3 million yuan. That's like $420,000. It's not a few bags, that's a small apartment. That's like 4 to 5 years of college, fully paid tuition. That's like a small private jet, bestie. A small private jet. I'm not sure how this even happened, all right? Like, were you not at home? How did this happen? Maybe somewhere between finding out that the police was investigating her and then being arrested. The girl robbed her best friend's house clean. I don't know. But she'd been taking stuff for years. Okay, this was happening over 3 years. Remember that one double chain Chanel bag?
Honestly, it's beyond anything I could have imagined. Only one bag worth 4,000 was stolen. Just that single 40k bag. Have you ever had a close friend swap your bag? This person even swapped the prize bags of 6 people around them.
Now we're talking multiple victims, hundreds of items wiped, and millions in damages. This was way, way bigger than the girls had imagined. There are 6 known victims for now, alright? But nobody had it worse than Salami Panini, Fishball's alleged best friend. The kind of friend where you know the parents, alright? She'd visit her in Shanghai, sleep over at her house, eat at their dinner table, Panini's mom's home-cooked meals, which is why what she did was insane. She didn't take Panini's belongings, she took Panini. Like, she literally copied her identity. Remember that whole backstory Fishball told everyone? A millionaire Australian father, mom that works in the cosmetics industry. Yeah, those are Panini's parents. Fishball basically looked at her life and thought,
I like that. I'll take that, actually.
She made a WeChat account with a username that is basically Panini's dad's name with a small typo. And then she proceeded to cosplay as her own fake father, texting herself to prove her lies. And the cherry on top, the bags she stole, like a 200,000 yuan Chanel bag she stole from Panini.
On your birthday back then, you walked off with a Chanel bag worth 22,000 yuan from me. Then you told your friends it was a birthday gift from your dad.
She'd send photos to her friends that she stole from.
Look what my dad bought me.
Girl, your dad? You borrowed the man from the friend whose bag you stole. She wasn't just swapping designer bags, she was swapping realities. As you can imagine, okay, Salami Panini had a really hard pill to swallow. When she opened the door to her room, she says,
I was completely stunned. I nearly fainted on the spot.
her mom's room, storage drawers, closets, shelves, all stripped. It wasn't robbery, this was a violation. Fishball didn't just run off with the goods, she left behind a few fake replacements. 3 fakes, one of them so bad, so ugly, that Panini literally said,
There are 3 counterfeit pieces at the moment, especially this Giazzi one. It's kind of terrifying.
imagine somebody robbing your home, emptying your closet, and leaving behind a discount bin knockoff, like a parody. But as she walked, Panini started connecting the dots. Those sleepovers, Panini would randomly wake up middle of the night, 3 a.m., look over. Fishball wasn't even there. She wasn't in bed next to her.
Then late at night I often noticed you were gone. You'd tell me you were going downstairs to make a call or to use the bathroom, but there's a bathroom in my room, so I found it odd you'd go downstairs to use the toilet.
She was in Panini's mom's bedroom, stealing. Every memory Panini had with her friend began to warp.
I don't understand how you could grab all my stuff, go back to my room without leaving a trace, and then just spin a lie. Every time you came, you brought a huge suitcase, but you told me it was for your filming equipment.
What's in the suitcase? That wasn't her filming gear. No, that was her loot deposit box. The nights they stayed up talking, Fishball would just wait for Panini to fall asleep so she can get up and steal some more. She stole the intimacy of friendship and used it as a camouflage.
You didn't just break my heart, you hurt my family. You hurt my mom, hurt my dad, hurt my sister. Our whole family really liked you. I don't know why you would treat us like this.
And honestly, that's the darkest part of this whole scandal. Not the money, not the bags, not even the identity theft. It's that Fishball walked into a home that treated her like family, ate their food, slept in their beds, laughed with them, and then robbed them blind.
I've been really good to you. I can honestly say that I've treated you very well.
She's grieving a false friendship. You can replace bags. You can buy new jewelry. You can get that money back. Losing your sense of trust, your sense of judgment, your sense of safety in your own home, those are things that you can't regenerate. At this point, there's only one question left. How does someone get to this level of delusion? Delusion? I don't know, sociopathy. This isn't a normal, I made a mistake. No, this is months, years of planning, emotional manipulation, multi-victim theft, fake identities, fake parents, fake mental health stuff, fake everything. This is a pattern. What's the psychology behind someone who can sleep in your bed, eat your mom's food, cry on your shoulder, and then rob your entire family at 3 a.m. In psychology, status is not just, I like nice things. It's a resource, a weapon, a way to secure belonging. The modern research on luxury consumption shows that people use luxury goods to signal a social rank, to win acceptance, to compensate for insecurity maybe survive in a highly competitive social group. Fishball wasn't in just any friend group. This was a socialite, Chinese influencer girl group. It was maybe a luxury-heavy influencer circle, where 1 month without a new bag? Who even are you? And maybe her self-worth depended on, do I look rich enough to stay here? Making her chase that image like oxygen. Maybe to her, stealing from her friends was not greed. It was survival. I can't afford the image I created. Still evil. Still criminal. She's a pathological liar, pseudologia fantastica. She was shielding herself by emotionally manipulating people with the I'm not well excuse, using mental health as a shield from accountability. She can't be that apathetic to rob friends for 3 years like that. Like, that's gotta be a sociopath, Textbook behavior, I feel. In her, maybe she wasn't lying in her head. This was like identity cosplay. I don't know. What a calculated person. The only thing she miscalculated was that double-chain Chanel bag. The tiny crack that brought the entire structure down. The structure she built to satiate her need to belong. That now had her belong in jail. In China, theft under 3,000 yuan could be considered a civic case. Over 3,000 is criminal. Over 300,000 is especially huge. How much did she steal? Over 4 million yuan. Okay, that's almost $850,000. That places her in the highest bracket of criminal penalties. It's pretty serious. All right, she could face 10 years up to life imprisonment, mandatory restitution, permanent criminal record, financial penalties, civil lawsuits from all the victims if they choose to press charges. Her assets are all seized, reputation destroyed, online persona gone, career over. I don't know, she's awaiting trial perhaps right now. I'm not sure what charges she'd been served, but that's what she could be looking at considering the extent of the damage caused. Last thing I'd expect, from a girl called Fishball. In the end, the story, the Fishball story, is not about handbags. It's not an influencer drama or who sat at what dinner table. It's something much darker. It's about what people become when the life they want matters more to them than the people who love them. Because when everything finally collapsed, the lies, the fakes, the faked out, the fake identity, all that was left was a girl sitting in a police station with nothing. No bags, no friends, no fabricated backstory to hide behind. Just a long list of crimes and a circle of people she hollowed out piece by piece to build a version of herself that never existed. She finally has to sit in a jail cell with the one thing she spent her whole life avoiding: herself. Share your thoughts down in the comments below, guys. My heart goes out to her friends who thought they were friends, but they weren't. They were the supply chain. You were the shop. What a crazy story, honestly. Share your thoughts, y'all, in the comments below. I'm gonna go pee because I really need to pee right now, and I'm a few steps away from where I gotta go, so bye.